Around 1,600 incarcerated people work as firefighters in California, making up as much as 15% of the state firefighting force, CAL FIRE.
16% of the total fighting force. Sometimes it's up to upwards of 30 fighters out on the line are incarcerated. Anyway, let's get to, I don't really care about Pam Bondi, honestly. We'll do some updates on the California wildfires and move on.
The fire emergency in Los Angeles. The most severe wind warning is in effect again this morning, threatening to start new fires, spread existing ones. This new danger comes as we also learn new information about what may have sparked the Palisades fire.
Why not cover Pam Bondi? Because I don't care.
Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman is on the scene. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, George. The next 11 hours here are going to be absolutely critical. Very low humidity. The winds are going to come howling down canyons like this, which is why fire officials have pre-positioned so many trucks in almost every driveway here. This goes on. In all, about 15,000 firefighters in Southern California right now. They are concerned that these winds could whip up embers and ignite new fires here.
This morning, for the second straight day, millions facing an extreme fire risk in Southern California. The next 12 hours, critical.
Everybody here urges you to remain alert, as danger has not yet passed.
Fire crews scrambling to mop up any remaining hotspots, fearing that powerful Santa Ana winds and dry conditions could rekindle the monstrous Eaton and Palisades fires. Palisades fire now 18% contained as new clues emerge about how it may have started. ABC News has learned that the ATF, the federal agency...
Your tweet that made me come to that stream seems right-wing, which is upsetting being left-wing. Stop trying to suck up to them. Wait, what? Like to give money to a leftist from other side of the sea. Thanks for your commentary. What? Your tweet made me come to that stream seems right-wing, which is upsetting being left-wing. Stop trying to suck up to them. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Are you saying you expected me to be right-wing? Or are you saying that you saw my tweet and it seemed right-wing focused? Oh, let's continue.
Is just a man we need at a time.
Oh, wrong one. Hold on.
Agency charged with investigating arson and explosions is zeroing in on the Palisades Highland area.
The foot of the fire started real close to where the last fire was on New Year's Eve.
Some residents pointing to this fire, first reported on the hillside just after midnight on New Year's Day.
LAFD had sent helicopters and had sent trucks to put that fire out. They were there for hours, circling overhead. We assumed then the fire was out. For the next several nights, there were fireworks again going off at night in various areas in the hills.
By 3:38 a.m., the fire is stopped, and an hour later, by 4:46, fully contained. Fire officials say that ash pits or tree roots can smolder for days unseen.
Wait, we were right behind it.
Then at 10:30 a.m. Tuesday, January.
The crazy thing is these guys got blamed for the wildfire. And now the most likely the most likely scenario is that it's a reignition from a previous fire that was put out because someone else had lit fireworks during New Year's Eve. Yeah, they hit him with the fart principle. Whoever smelt it dealt it. That's what they did. They were like, "Oh, you were there?" Oh yeah, I was on CNN. We'll look at that in a second with the Bernie. We got some hits off the Bernie interview.
February 7th, the Palisades fire was reported. These side-by-side satellite images seem to show that fire starting at nearly the same spot as the fire the week before. We witnessed the furious firefighting efforts at that spot as the Palisades fire began to spread.
Just in the past couple of seconds since we've been here, this fire has crested this little hill we're on. The entire basin here is engulfed in flames.
FEMA on the ground in LA already receiving 40,000 aid applications. 84-year-old Susan Solser says she watched the Palisades fire approach her home from her kitchen window before fighting the fire with her 86-year-old husband Winston, saving their home.
I wasn't sure where Winston was. Couldn't contact him, but it turned out he was at the south end of the house doing the same thing.
The Palisades and Eaton fires have claimed the lives of 25 people, and the survivors are still reeling.
It was literally shooting like fireballs. It looked like a volcano.
Zaire Calvin remembers the Eaton fire surging towards the place he's called home for 47 years.
I got the
You're getting your mother.
Getting my mother. We're going. I go to the left, and my sister's car is still there.
He says he thought his sister, Evelyn McClendon, had managed to leave already. The next day, they located her.
When you're mourning your sister's death, there's no real understanding. There's no understanding. There's no way to even take it in.
The family hit hard, but not giving up on their community.
Everyone is fighting. Everyone is literally just asking, leaning on each other to say, what's next? What's the best thing to do?
Folks like Zaire Calvin say that they can rebuild. They just need the financial resources and support in order to do it. Now, something that authorities here are very concerned about. Over the past 8 days, there have been 3 particularly dangerous situation alerts put out by the National Weather Service. There have also been some mistaken text alerts on that emergency alert system put out by the county, and officials are concerned there will be complacency, but they are pleading with folks to heed those warnings. They say lives are at stake. Michael.
And you can definitely feel the heartbreak there, and you definitely need to take those warnings seriously. Thank you so much, Matt.
Wall Street Journal did a firefighters are fighting fires for less than $2 an hour apiece.
This is a group of wildland firefighters.
Going all the way up?
This is the main Palisades fire. So they're tasked with going up these steep hills and protecting these expensive houses from burning down.
7 years wildland, 61 fires. I've called about 30 of those out. I've had one restart about 90 days later. It can reignite 90 days after the fact? That sounds insane.
Thousands of firefighters have come from all around the country to battle the still raging Los Angeles fires.
That felt good. We need it down.
This crew came from a camp.
So these are inmates in the California penal system. These guys all volunteered to come out here. And this is a major labor force for California.
Around 1,600 incarcerated people work as firefighters in California, making up as much as 15% of the state firefighting force, CAL FIRE.
16% of the total fighting force. Sometimes it's up to upwards of 30 fighters out on the line are incarcerated.
We work 24 on, 24 off. We won't be out of here till 6, 7 tomorrow morning. I know, it's kind of surreal, you know what I mean?
This is California history down here. I mean, we're in Hollywood. It's better than being locked in a cell. We're basically free out here. Is the pay a little rough? I get $1 an hour right now, and I'm one of the highest paid guys on the crew.
Incarcerated firefighters get between $5 and $10 a day. When they're assigned to a fire, they earn an extra $1 an hour. By contrast, a firefighter hired by CAL FIRE to do similar work ends up earning about $350 for a 24-hour shift, not including overtime. But the bigger draw is early release. Serving on a fire...
Okay, CAL FIRE's numbers are so insanely low as well, by the way. That's crazy. Dude, do you understand? You're working 24 hours on, 24 hours off. You're sleeping in the mountains. You can't even bring a bed with you. Like, you can't bring like a sleeping bag with you because everything else you're carrying could potentially become an issue in a fire. And everything you're carrying you have to have the lightest load, basically, because you're trekking for 24 hours. Okay? And even the people that are fighting the wildfires that aren't incarcerated are making $350 for a full 24-hour shift. Like, that's the maxed out hazard pay. Also, being on the Sawyer team, those guys have to take tests and train for more than a year to be able to do that. These dudes are legit. Yeah. Like, when I think about that, not even the incarcerated, the people who are not incarcerated, and then I compare that to the police salaries for sitting around playing Candy Crush, waiting for like some black or brown teenager to roll over with an electric scooter so I can shoot them and then be like, I killed a looter. And how much hazard pay and overtime pay they actually rack up in that same time frame. I'm like, what are we doing? Our spending priorities are so out of whack. Bro, $350 a day is still great. Are you crazy? We're talking about 24 hours. You're working for 24 hours under conditions that are deadly. Like, you can die. What? Dog, you're talking about $14.50 an hour. That's lower than the California minimum wage. Why? Because CAL FIRE, like people that work in the forestry service, are federal employees, as in they make less money. They make the least amount of money in the federal government. They're making $15 an hour, dude. $350 for 24 hours is insane. I mean, $350 for 12 hours as a production assistant, and that's not fighting fires. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Cal Fire is state. Yeah, before overtime and Cal Fire is state. Oh, Cal Fire is not federal pay. I thought Cal Fire also had the pay that was like similar to federal pay. Am I wrong on this? I'm sure there's some wildfire firefighters in here. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's extra messed up if they're getting only $350 a day for a 24-hour time frame that they're working.
Fire crew gets time shaved off your sentence and a chance to get your record expunged.
We're here for the opportunity to reduce our time. Anything I can do to go home a day or two earlier, I'm going to be there to do it.
After a 24-hour...
No, U.S. Forest Service guys envy the Cal Fire. They make about 3x federal salary. Really?
...or shift and then a 24-hour rest, the crew is back at work. Now, the job changes from fighting fires to helping prevent them.
This is the arduous work of just clearing this area and making sure it's safe and stopping the fires before they start. This is work that these guys do all year round. It doesn't just happen when there's wildfires.
We do this Monday through Friday. This is what we do every day, fire or not. When we talk to other groups and they're doing the same stuff we're doing, and we talk to them about how much you guys getting paid. Oh, well, we getting paid $20 an hour, or we getting paid this much a day. You'd be like, dang, at the end of the month, we probably make like $100. Something that somebody probably making like half a day.
Kip Ford says his time on the fire crew has been an attempt at redemption. He's in...
It's wild because the cops that are overseeing them, like the COs, are getting paid probably double overtime and hazard pay in the process. They also don't go out on the line, I suspect.
Prison after being convicted of construction fraud in the aftermath of the 2018 Camp Fire in Paradise, California. A verdict he's appealed.
I have a part of my past that I'm not 100% proud of. Well, I just hope that I have did all I can to right that wrong as best I could. We were up there fighting them fires this year as a crew, as a team. The Park Fire, the Thompson Fire, the Apache Fire. But just to go to say, you know, that's, what do they say, is karma. All I can do is move forward, and that's how I justify the day.